Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the sixth ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Cook, and he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of, and the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Right there. 54, Mike.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 3rd and goal for Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Antonio Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. These two teams all tied after 1. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, They'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Maybe a free play here. Cousins. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down. But I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 14-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers finds his tight end Ingram. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A 1st down carry for Barkley. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's go, G. Tighten up. Look, 15. Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Bandit, bandit.
on second down and 4. Rodgers, they'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, defense, let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley.
Yeah, baby, boom.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Cousins now to throw on first down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. He looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So after the INT, it's Rodgers eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Rodgers rolling to his right. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Hey, you block over here. This side, baby. That's the baby side. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check out. Liz. Hey, 88. Switch. Kill. Watch that. Yeah, Liz.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We now proceed to the start of the second half. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. A healthy Evan Ingram, that could be a great elixir for New York this year. A season ago, he only played in 11 games because of the injuries, 35 catches, which was a dip down from 2 seasons ago when Ingram caught 64 passes. Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
10-30. We want it. Come to my world. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
On 2nd and 15 now. Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. So tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. All right, you used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make as well as their dexterity, sometimes you have to put a cornerback on him because he might be the primary guy going out for a pass. It changes what they do defensively, and it's usually not good for the defense.
Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. They run it again with Cook. Cook able to escape, and he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Cook. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Cousins. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people.
On 2nd down, Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's caught. Smith. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range. Gave him a chance to take the lead. They come up
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. There for the sack, Emerson Griffin.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw is Rodgers. On the move to his left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They start the drive with Cook. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Cousins now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Open man right side is Ingram. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
It's just me and you. We are going. Check 52. Begin.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Whip. Strong back. Get 300.
Now Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Everson Griffith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Check. Hey, Haywood. Let's get off the field.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Rosas good with the extra point. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Tom Brady, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So Cousins and the Vikings down 21-14, a minute 14 to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dexter Lawrence in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Back to throw. They're into the hands of Thielen, complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed.
What we got?
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was in the